Hey, what's going on, day ones? This podcast is brought to you by a couple of phenomenal sponsors. First up, we got Rose Vogue Stylings. Ladies, are you in the market for a new purse? What about a new swimsuit? What about some earrings? The folks over at Rose Vogue Stylings, they got you covered. Please go to rosevoguestyling.com. And while you're on the website, please enter in that promo code late night. You want to make sure you're getting all of those amazing discounts. Also, if you are in the market for a lovely timepiece such as the one that I am wearing, please go to blackwatches.com. That is BLAK watches.com and enter in that promo code late night W Nate to get another fantastic discount off of quality timepieces. Again, thank you to the folks over at Rose Vogue Stylings and those at Black Watches. Now to the show. Yo. We are back after a short but long/short hiatus. Y'all know what time it is. I am Nate Galloway.
And I'm Adrian Brandyberg.
And this is your favorite late night podcast that we sometimes shoot during the day. Late night with Nate and Adrian. Let's get to and the motherfucking bones.
This guy here, boy.
Shout out to the day ones. Like, subscribe on all of your MFN podcast platforms. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Man, listen, we out here.
Is back.
Yes. We are back. It's partly, guys, all of this is partly because of me.
Where in the world was Adrian San Diego?
All right. I mean, listen, if you're like under a rock right now, and you're watching and listening to this in March, you guys know what March, generally what happens during there.
Boogie on sports.
The NCAA tourney is happening, and I so happen to have, some friends that are that are coaches on, on teams, and I got invited to go to.
Whoa! Not just on teams.
All right,
not just on team. You ain't gonna play them like that.
Okay, well, okay. My good friend is an assistant coach, one of the assistant coaches at Duke, and so proud of him. Shout out to Emmanuel Dildy. That's my man's. But yeah, I went out there. They had the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 out in Newark at the Prudential Center. And, I shared with Nate that I will not be in attendance. So we had to do what we had to do during our little hiatus. My gosh. I will say I like a good game, but I also like a boring game at the same time. Just because most of the time I'm not watching these games.
Yeah, of course not.
I'm enjoying the scenery. I'm taking in a couple beverages,
Drinks.
And and talking to my friend, and the people, the entourage around them. And so, the Elite 8 that game started off like a little concerning. But then they did what they had to do, which Duke always does, and won by 20. So, if you guys don't know, they are slated to win the tourney and kind of see it happening. Gotta be honest. So yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't think anyone is going to stop them. Honestly. Let me think. Who are the matchups?
It's Houston and Duke.
Yeah,
for the Final Four. And I'm trying to think of what the other side, because
Florida Auburn and Duke Houston. I think that's okay. All number ones.
All number ones.
Two number ones from the same conference. That Florida Auburn game is going to be interesting because they've played each other. I want to
Yeah,
say what 2-3 times this year.
yeah,
So that'll be a good one. I think I am going to, man, Florida. They're just some dogs, but I
yeah.
like that Auburn team. I'm going to say
Okay,
Auburn versus Duke,
okay.
and because I can't stand Duke, I have to go with Auburn.
Hey man, that's
That's the
fine.
next now.
Listen,
Gotta go with Auburn.
I'm okay. I'm okay with people not liking Duke. Um,
You understand why though? You okay? So with you sitting in the crowd, because you were there, can
yeah.
you honestly say as someone, okay, I'm not a Duke fan, I'm just here because the homie. Can you understand why niggas hate people who are associated with it?
Hey man, Duke has a different vibe. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of
Yuppies.
like, wow.
I'm just it's certain schools out here,
Wow.
man. It's certain schools.
Wow.
It is.
That's what we're
You've been
doing.
to Duke.
I
You know.
have.
That's what
I've
I'm
gone.
saying. It looks
It's
like gargoyles and shit all
uh
over the campus.
okay. All right.
It's all
All right.
cathedral.
I mean, it is because they're trying to preserve the landmarks because it is a it I mean it's gonna go down as one of the best programs for
Best programs, best educational institutions.
yeah, it really is. It reminds me of like how Cubs fans before before they
Ah,
it like the
I can see
you're
that.
always gonna find someone in wherever you are, you're gonna
That's
find
true.
a fan, and they're gonna love that team
That's true.
regardless. And so, granted, Duke has been, they've been,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah, they've been winning. You know what it
yeah, they've
is.
been winning. So, yeah, it's an experience that I hope that everyone gets a chance to really experience. I'm not going to the Final Four because it's actually happening
This
this
weekend.
weekend. Um, they
Send the
are in,
jet. Send Boogie the jet.
yeah, they are in San Antonio, and it's granted. I Every time I think of San Antonio, everyone always, I don't know, I just think of Barkley. Just
Every time.
hey, Charles Barkley out
What
here
they say, Chuck?
really.
What they say, Chuck?
Hey man, there's some ugly women in San Antonio.
Kenny. Let me tell you here, Ernie. The ugliest women in America is San Antonio. Joel Embiid, Wimby, if you want to have a scandal-free playing career, go to
oh,
San Antonio.
oh God. I would listen, and he might have a point there, because that is, you talking about the quietest,
Man,
non-partiest, but obviously the party's coming to San Antonio.
what
So
is the top 5 like NBA cities that you would be like, it's no hoes, no partying, like where you think where a nigga can get in absolutely no trouble? What are
great,
those top 5 cities?
great question. I think San Antonio is definitely one
Okay,
of
that's
them.
one. What else you got?
I'm gonna, dare I say, I heard Utah got some turn up, but Utah,
I feel like
you gotta fly in that turn
yeah, I
up.
feel like
You
you got
gotta
to fly
fly
in.
in. Yeah, you gotta fly.
Unless
Yeah,
you Oster tag, like you,
right.
you got to be a certain hue for the
Yeah,
party to
you gotta
really be.
fly in. You gotta fly
So that's true.
in. And uh the Sacramento Kings.
That's 3. Yeah,
Ain't nobody talking about
it's farmland
Sacramento.
out there.
Ain't nobody
It's
talking about
farms
Sacramento.
out there.
Yeah. Denver, dare I say,
Okay.
back in the day, yeah, but Denver
Yeah.
done changed a little bit.
I feel like that's only because weed. If you're not a
All right,
smoker, then
good
it's
point.
so yeah,
Good point.
Denver.
Good
Yeah.
point. Good point. I'm trying
Round
to
it
think
out.
of
What's number 5?
great question.
I know one.
Oh, you
I want
do?
to I want to see if you're gonna say it though.
Because I want to say no, because I've
Say it. I think
actually
we might be on the same page. I think we might be on the same page.
Oklahoma.
No, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say them, But
Okay.
okay, I can see, definitely see Oklahoma as.
But Oklahoma is really close to Dallas, and
But who's really? What's the distance between Dallas and? Oh, let me see. What's the distance? Because
that's a quick flight.
yeah, but I mean, okay. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that one. Okay.
Who you
Honorable
about to say?
mention, Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Like I just
But
feel like
yeah. Good
you're
point.
going home. You're not after them niggas leave the arena. They're going
You
home.
sound like Jeff T. You sound like Jeff T. That's what he said after they won.
I was like, I don't feel like Milwaukee. I mean, it's niggas from Milwaukee who are even like, yeah, nigga, we go home too. Like,
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
um, Indianapolis as well. I forgot. I don't know how we forgot them. Don't know how we didn't name them.
Because they forgettable. That's why.
Reggie Miller was like, it's no hoes out here.
This
Okay?
nigga this nigga literally used to fly out and go to Vegas. You know that's his favorite spot.
I did
He
not
be
know that, but
yeah,
I can see it.
because he's a golfer. He's a golfer.
Okay,
And he
that
be
makes sense.
every time you see Reggie, this man got another tan, another layer of golden brownness, toastiness. I'm like, nigga, stay out the sun.
It also makes you wonder when you see like NBA niggas like golfing. It's like, damn, nigga, how do they fuck? It's clubs are already short for like moderately tall people or
Yeah.
whatever. But you niggas, like, they look
Custom
so
made.
awkward.
Everything's
Like,
custom. Everything once you get
damn.
past that threshold of making money, they like,
Yeah.
hey, I gotta have everything custom.
Tis what it is.
Yeah, no.
So Boogie's not going to the Final Four. What else has been going on in the world of books? Still studying, I'm assuming.
Still studying. That is my life, ladies and gentlemen. I had to take a break because I had to go, had to go to the Elite Eight, and my body is like, hey, so we're done with studying? No, we have to go back to the routine that we have right now. So that is generally my life right now. My friends are definitely giving me that countdown, like you got about 80 plus more days until the summer. And when that summer hit, I
In
don't
them
want to hear
stones.
no excuses.
We in them cobblestones.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
So
dope. That
yeah,
is dope.
just
Kudos.
living my
Kudos to
best.
you.
What's going on with you? You talking about me? What have you been doing? What are you up to during this time? Okay, we took a little mini vacay. What's happening?
Man, the mini vacay, I have been just, chilling,
I love
had
a
some
good
bad
chill.
news and was like, ah, damn it.
Yeah.
You know, picked myself up from the bad
Mm-hmm.
news and just kind of like, we are doing art projects. I've just been
Nice.
immersed in that. I sent you one. I got a couple other ones. I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep doing it. You're starting to get better, my
Yeah.
boy.
Let's
Skills are
go.
getting better. I
Yeah.
will say this, nothing more annoying then when you're like, I could do that, and then you go and do it, and you're like, I don't think I could do this. It's like I
I
need way more. I have a bad habit. I don't know if you know this about your book. I have a bad habit of taking on shit that I think I can do when I can't do it, and I still do it. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you just shouldn't do shit that you don't know how to do.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Sometimes
that.
you just have to recognize that. But I was like, no, we're not gonna give up. I've been trying to figure out like taping lines and stuff, and I was like, this was way easier when I was doing this in school, but I haven't done
Okay.
this in a while. So I'm like, let's get back to doing it. It is so difficult to draw a straight goddamn line. Even when you paint the line straight and you go back over it, it's always that one little oop, and it's just like, what are we doing here? One of my homies who's an artist, she's like, oh, you use tape? I don't use tape. I just freehand all, and they're the most perfect lines. And I was like, get off my phone. Get off my phone. So I just kind of been working on. So I have learned a couple things about myself and my dad, because within working on these projects, I've been dealing with nails and all types of
Okay.
different things. And I was like, oh man, I am so effing handy out here. Put some nails through the wood, right? And I was like, ooh, how do I cut these off? Do have a miniature saw, but I was like, this is going to be a lot of work that I don't want to do. I'm not
Okay.
trying to manually cut through this when I could just go out here and buy something to cut it for me. Asked my dad. He's like, well, I got one over here. And I was like, yes, but you live 2 hours away from me. So please stop telling me every time I ask you to do something, I got one over here. And I know what that means. That just is a way for him to be like, since you came over here to use this one, now get up on this roof and let's retile these shingles up here. I know what it is. So I'm like, I'm not going to get you to con me into driving 2 hours to use your tools just so you can have me fall off your roof and then be like, how the hell you fall off the roof?
Oh,
I already know
God.
what's going to happen. So I'm like, we're not going to do this. So he's like, here's what you do. Get your little rotary tool. I was over at Lowe's and I was like, is there a cheaper way to do this? He was like, well, I'm glad you asked. Now you're finally using your brain. Instead of buying one tool, you could just buy the whole set. And I was like, that does kind of make sense. And I was like, but Dad, I don't really do woodworking and stuff that much, so I don't want to buy an expensive one. He was like, you're right. Go to Harbor Freights. This man loves Harbor Freights. Anyone who does anything in tools, there's two type of tool stores. There's for like the big dog niggas. I'm going to Lowe's and Home Depot, which he does because he's one of them big dogs. But he's
Right.
also like, when you're just kind of getting into stuff, don't spend a whole lot. Go to Harbor Freight. So I'm like, cool, cheap tools. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Cheap stuff before you move on up. So I go buy this rotary tool and I'm like, hey man, can I do this in the house? He's like, yeah, you can do this in the house. And I was like, is this gonna cause me any type of danger or anything? He was like, no, dude. And my dad, like old niggas, they kind of like, you got to be kind of slow. But you're my son, so I'm not gonna outwardly tell you that. But he was talking to me like that. So I'm in the kitchen, just like, okay, let me do this thing. Rotary, rotary, rotary. There were sparks, Boogie. There were sparks.
Gosh.
And I was like, this nigga told me there would not be any type of danger. I'm like, he didn't need goggles, glasses. He's like, you will be fine. I'm learning that when my dad says I will be fine, I need to find some instructions.
Yeah,
or
you will
something,
not be fine.
because I'm not going to be fine. He's also an engineer. You know how engineers are. Them
Oh,
niggas be taking shit apart just for the fun of it and putting it back together and then just re-rigging it like, this is how to really work good. I'm like, but that's not what it was meant for. So cutting off, sparks flying everywhere. And lo and behold, I do not have the little saw blade thing kind of in there, right? This thing goes flying out of the drill. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is literally a Tim the Toolman Taylor type of situation here. So I'm like, whoo, I'm nothing, no body parts. I got all my limbs, nothing was broke. I'm gonna go and attach this thing back in here. Lo and behold, I see a little wrench and I decided to read the instructions because I did not read them before, because who does that? So
me,
the instructions say, make sure you use the wrench to tighten this thing up. I get on the phone, call my dad, and I was like, hey man, I thought you said this was going to be safe. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, hey bro, I ended up, there were sparks, then the drill bit fell out. He was like, how the hell the drill bit fall out? And I was like, I twisted it with my hand. Why the hell would you use your hand? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just figuring that it was enough pressure to torque it in here. And he was just over there. It was like that, the 2 minutes of silence or so. And it was just like, yeah, you are definitely kind of stupid. But I was just like, these are those learning lessons that I had to figure out. So I was like, okay, cool. Next project, next time I was cutting nails, I was in the garage and I was like, yeah, we doing this the right way. So Boogie, we decide to spray paint some stuff. Learn the lesson. Was like, you need a mask. So got my little respirator. I'm like, cool, we making them do what we do. And I was like, this mask, it's a lot. It's cumbersome, makes my face sweat and everything. Moisture was building up in there. And I was like, this thing is too hot. Got that at Harbor Freights too. I was like, I probably should have got the 3M mask over at, Lowe's for $40. I bought the $20 mask. Note to self, don't ever buy the $20 mask when it comes to anything when you have to breathe. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just spray paint really fast and not put the mask on. I'm using green paint, spraying, doing my thing. Everything was great. The uh, piece came out perfect. So I'm, like 2 hours later, I'm in the house just chilling, sneezing. I'm like allergies, blowing my nose. And I'm like, why the fuck is my snot green? And I'm like,
Hell
this is
no.
kind of alarming. And I'm like, just going back to like, the brief,
Oh
health
God.
classes I went through. And I was like, I feel like if your snot is green, that means you might be sick, got a little infection or something. So of course I'm panicking. I'm like, and I'm like, I don't think this is like a normal snot color. So I blow my nose again, blow my nose again. And I'm like, this snot looks like the paint. Boogie. I was literally blowing out paint particles. And I was like, you know what, bruh? You got to use your mask. You have to use the mask. So I was spray painting yesterday and I had the mask on. Believe it or not, Boogie, I could breathe. No, no paint particles in my nose or anything. And I'm just like, you know what? You're learning, bruh. You are learning. Might have to learn the hard way, but you are learning. So, it's kind
It's
of what
the
I've been
most
doing.
amateur trial and error
It is
situation I've ever heard.
it is the amateur show out here, Boogie. But also, I'm just like, kind of like where I'm going with things. I did Google a miniature table saw. Not gonna buy it. Not gonna buy it. It is portable. You know how I am about portable things. But I was like, I feel like that is too much outside of my wheelhouse. I did buy a wood burner. I did buy a wood burner. I was like, ooh, we gonna draw some lines with a wood burner. And I was going to actually wood burn some paint. Like I was like, ooh, let's burn these lines. Let's make this go. And then I was told, I was like, yeah, bruh, you're gonna blow yourself up. Because paint is
very flammable.
highly
What are you
flammable.
talking about, my guy?
I was like, it didn't quite register. I was like, well, the paint is dry. I'm like, and then you know what?
I hate you niggas.
I was like, let me YouTube this. And step 1 of wood burning, it was like, make sure you sand the wood. Did not sand the wood. I just was like, yeah, we painting, we good, we gonna do all this. Step 2, it was like, do not burn paint. And I was like, okay. So I got to sand this first, then wood burn it, then paint it. I was like, okay. Sometimes, it pays to, read before you do things, I'm
glad that didn't turn out the way we didn't want it to go.
More power. I'm just telling you, but that's what it is over here. I feel like, are you really woodworking and tinkering and building stuff if you don't potentially blow yourself up, lose a finger, singe some hairs? Are you really working? Are you really working?
God, I hate people like you.
But also, that's why the price is so much. It's like, nigga, I almost died. The amount of paint fumes that I almost inhaled for this. Therefore, you're gonna have to pay for this art.
Your finger's gonna be left on the damn art, taking a picture of it, posting it. Hopefully
Like,
you get that money.
Sign with 3 fingers because the other 2 were singed off in a project.
Oh God!
But we are still here. So next week, hopefully, I'll be like, hey, I bought a blowtorch.
Oh gosh.
But you know what, Boogie, with all that happiness and things that were going on, I can't stay happy for too long.
You know what really grinds my gears?
I'm mad.
Oh gosh.
We had like a huge set of freak storms that hit damn near most of Michigan. I'm talking like ice storms. We had tornado warning. All that goddamn once. It was like 80 miles an hour winds.
Yeah, I heard about it.
I was looking outside and I was like, damn, my grill is still standing. Shout out to my pops for telling me to put that brick underneath the grill. Sometimes old niggas, them tips do be coming in handy. But that 80-mile-an-hour winds knocked out the internet for quite some time.
Yikes.
And Comcast, count your days, man. Count your motherfucking days, Comcast. I say that because Comcast likes to be like, hey, you know, we know the internet is out, but we have people out here working. Your internet will be on in 2 hours. Do you think the internet was on in 2 hours, Boogie?
Let me guess. No.
Hell to the no. It was not on. So then they're like, you know what? Your internet, it'll be on by midnight. Boogie, do you think the internet was on by midnight?
I'm going to say yes this time.
Hell to the no. So then I get an alert that's like, hey, man, your internet is going to be on at 6:53 in the afternoon the following day. Yeah, it's such a random, like not 6:50, not 6:55, not 7 o'clock, but 6:53. Do you think the internet was on 6:53, Boogie?
I might just continue on with the pattern and say no.
It actually came on at 4 o'clock. You know, it actually came on. So they were like, yo, see, we told you 6:53. So now you can't call in for a credit. We got it on 2.5 hours early. The internet came back on. Everything was cool. But now we're having such issues where things will not connect. I had to restart my computer, my tablet, because they're like, hey, bruh, you're not on the internet. And I'm like, no, I am, because my lights are working. Everything else in here is working. So I'm on the internet. One of my TVs still will not connect. I have reset, forget this device, done all this stuff. And I'm like, count your motherfucking days. And yes, I do have a Chromecast. So it was like, hey, why are you trying to troubleshoot all these things when you have a Chromecast? I don't want to use the Chromecast, because then you got to go between the phone and try to do all, it's just so cumbersome. I'm like, what are we doing here? And you know, here's where I left out, Boogie. Here's the part that I left out. Because I didn't have internet and nothing was working, I had to play Blu-rays. I had to go back and watch DVDs and Blu-rays.
I remember those days.
Ask me what I watched, Boogie. Just ask me what I watched.
What was on your playlist?
So it was House Party 1. You know.
No.
Okay, so here's what happened. So I was like, I don't want to go through these DVD bins that I have here, because it's a couple. So because you're not throwing out everything. I believe that you got to keep some things, because if these streaming services go away,
fair.
You got to have something. So I'm like, I got I don't know, 60, 70 DVDs here of the classics. So I'm like, I don't want to go through those. So there's 3 DVDs that are sitting on top of the Blu-ray player. I'm like, this is what we're doing. These are the 3 that we're gonna go through. So it was House Party 1, it was Above the Rim, and it was Low Down Dirty Shame. That's what it was. It was just like black, and black. You know,
I fucks with Low Down Dirty Shame. That's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie.
Still stands up to this day. Like that and Babs. Like I know a lot of people are like, Babs. Yes, Babs still holds up to this day.
That. Yeah.
All 3 of those. So I was like, I'm over here doing this prehistoric shit because Comcast does not want to get their funky shit together. Like, what are we doing here, Comcast? What are we doing? And you know what? I got alerts from the power company. I got alerts from the gas company. We have people who are coming all the way from Alabama because we know a storm is on the way.
Damn.
So if the power company and the gas company can do this, Comcast, why the hell can't y'all do it? Count your MFing days. Count your MFing days. So, you know, that's what kind of, you know, sent me in a tizzy. TV's just unplugged over here right now. I'm like, we're gonna let this thing sit unplugged for like an hour.
That's fair.
But if not, I will be Chromecasting these games tonight. And also, you know what? I could go into the back bedroom because the TV back there does work, but it's just like I want to sit in the living room. First world problems, you know. This is just like first world.
I want what I want.
It's my money and I need it now. Let's get to some people who are actually doing dope things in the community.
I'm tipping my hat.
Boogie. Who you tipping to?
I'm tipping to Willie Willard
Willie.
Smith. He recently got a name in Philly, renamed in his honor in West Philly. So shout out to him. You know, he's been going through a hell of a tear, a tour right now. He, just with press hitting a lot
Yeah.
of more urban, I would say. He's been on his more urban kick. I did see that he's going to be on Drink Champs as well as
Now
he
that
did.
one is one I will tune in for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he did a couple other spots where I was like, huh. Gotta be honest. I think you're a little too big for that, but you did it anyway. But
Are you
but
talking
no.
about what's that one with Gillian Wallow? Is that what?
Hey. We're not saying what we're saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No. But shout out to Will. People make mistakes.
Yeah.
This is. I don't think it's as big as people took it, but also yes, keep your hands to yourself. But he was defending his woman. So I think a lot of people are giving him grace on that end.
Yeah.
Unlike some people that are on tour right now when, he blatantly admitted to doing some things. But that's just not nor here nor there. But we're talking
man.
about Willie. We're talking about Willard right now. Shout out to Will Smith, though.
Big Willie style. Yeah, I do want to watch that Drink Champs episode because I feel like there's certain people when they get drunk.
Yeah.
You are just like, oh yeah, you about to have some good. I feel like Will, because you see it on their face. It's like,
yeah,
been drinking. Will get him high and drunk. I think he gonna tell it all.
Yeah, shout out to him though. I'm happy that he's. I feel like now it's starting to make sense to why he has taken the time that he did in order to get back to find his happiness. So
I feel like in any type of situation like that, no matter what level you're at, sometimes you just need that time of isolation, whatever it is that you need.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. My bad. I'm over here looking for my package. It said
Oh,
my package has
okay.
been delivered.
Congratulations.
Where is it
my
at?
guy. Anyway, focus on your attention. Who you got up for your tipping?
My tipping is going to, you already know, Detroit Basketball. I put it on social media the other day. I was like, I told y'all niggas, man. I told y'all we back, baby.
All
we
right.
are back. Arguably one of the greatest turnarounds, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Pistons fan, but in sports history. I don't think y'all know how bad them niggas were last year. Like everybody is talking about how bad. I think the niggas won like 12 games last year, if that. Like they were hot ass garbage. So to come in here and to turn it around like this with a JB Bickerstaff, this is his first year coaching.
Yeah,
first year as the head coach. I gotta admit, when he was like, we ain't wearing no hoodies, none of this, ain't no none of that on the blah blah blah. I was definitely like, hey, bro, man, I don't give a damn how these niggas show up to practice. I don't care if Hoodie Mello is on the court. Is this nigga putting up 30 points? Who cares what these niggas have on?
Yeah.
But now that we're in the playoffs, ain't no hoodies, niggas. Y'all niggas don't know hoodies. Y'all better ripping the snap offs on niggas. Y'all everything better be tucked in. Everything better be tucked in. Laces tied, double tied, whatever, nigga. Whatever JB says, y'all niggas need to be listening to him. Because we in the playoffs now, baby. Pistons in 5. That's what I'm saying. We in the playoffs, baby.
All right. Congratulations.
Red Wings are also winning, and so are the goddamn Tigers. It's our year, baby. It is our year, Boogie. It is the year of...
Yeah, y'all said that last time when Detroit Lions was out here.
Whoa, Boogie. still the NFC North champs, Boogie. Okay. We are still...
Okay.
We're not going to talk about what they did in the playoffs.
All right. A little sore spot for you, I see.
I'm living in the past, Boogie. You living behind us.
Okay.
In the front. You back here, Boogie. You supposed to be up here.
Okay. Got you.
But definitely shout out to them.
Yeah.
You know what? Only time I really do watch the NBA is during the playoffs. I have tuned in for some Pistons games. It's just I'm just like,
we all know why.
Yeah, playoffs is when everybody tunes in.
Yeah, I will say, looking at the flyer, the poster that you sent in, didn't recognize none of these people and didn't know that some players were on the Pistons. So check that out.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Tobias.
Yeah, when did Tobias get to the Pistons? When did
this
what's
year.
that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
No, it was
I
either this year or
mean,
last year. They gave him a bag though, and I was
oh,
like,
for
yeah,
real?
he getting his money's worth. Tim Hardaway, he was sent there this year.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just saw Timmy Jr. out here. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
They got some youngins on Cade. They re-signed Cade, you know. Can't let Cade go. So I'm like, we out here. And you know, the goon, Isaiah Stewart,
Yeah.
boy, Boogie, when he was out, I was like, I got to get a jersey. Like, I'm going to buy an Isaiah Stewart jersey.
Congratulations, because that's
we
gonna last for 1 year.
That's okay, Boogie. And I'm with him. Hey, you see the way he ran down on LeBron? That nigga don't give a damn. That's what the NBA needs, man. I'm gonna say it's Adam Silver. Y'all trying to figure out like, ooh, all-star this interactive courts. No, let them niggas fight. I think we need at least 2 fights a month. Like that's what we need. At least not like to where anyone is like really hurt or anything. There's a couple little scuffles, maybe a little Chris Childs, like with the Kobe, you know, the little what is it, Matt Brown with the Matt Barnes with the ball, you know, in the face, a couple little choking out the Rudy Gobert, the Draymonds. Like we need 2 times a month. That's all we need, Boogie. 2 times a month.
Hey, they do that with hockey. Why not with basketball? Let's just say it.
Hey, man, the puck drops and they just like gloves, sticks. We at it. So, you know. We got an honorable mention with the tipping of the hat. Cory Booker broke the record. I think it was like 25 hours and 30 minutes. Broke Strong Thurman's record. That racist. He ended up having the previous record when he was trying to basically keep black folks from getting civil rights.
Yep.
Honestly, when you think about it, to stand up and speak for 24 hours as to why you hate niggas is that is insane.
That's top tier hatred right there.
Insane amount of hatred. Not only is this a dope thing because I watched some of it and he was on point for everything he was talking about.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did it was like, y'all motherfuckers have to listen. And you're going to listen, and they did. And that was a dope thing. I think it's even more so dope because I was like, hey, bro, you didn't go to the bathroom. You like, how did you do this? Because Strom Thurmond, he was peeing in a bucket. You have to keep one foot on the floor while so he was standing there and peeing in a bucket while he's doing what he had to do. Cory Booker said him and his team, they prepared he was fasting. Right before he stopped drinking, those types of things. We did go through the proper means to prepare his body. I did read that he said his Apple Watch was going off like, hey, nigga, sit down.
Yeah.
Your body is in critical overload levels. I just think that's dope. I think that's dope on so many levels.
I didn't realize Cory Booker was that thick, so I'm gonna just Cory Booker got hips for days, so maybe he's not only helping us out as a country, but maybe he's kickstarting his his workout plan. Because man, a good fast will do you well when you starting to really work out.
Cory, he did play football in college, so maybe that's where the childbearing hips come from. Because he was, brother went to Stanford. I mean, that brother's smart.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay,
brother. I
mean, I knew he was smart, but I'm just saying the way that he doesn't blink, I knew something was up. I
feel like that the gravity of where this country, he don't have time to blink. The nigga's like, I can't. I don't have the energy to do this. But also, I was like, again, like I said, kudos to you. I still was like, so not like an ounce of pee, nothing came out. Like you ain't had no Depends or nothing on, bro. Because I still I just feel like that's hard to believe that you ain't let nothing out. Like, but again, kudos to you for standing up here and doing what you need to do. As we
Uh,
keep this show moving, it's time to get to No Can or Cannot Deals. Before we get to the first topic, we do have an update. There are no deaths this week. We got no black deaths to report this week. First topic, because we were on hiatus, we're going to touch on it here briefly. Open and or close the doors. I'm sure you guys know Marvin Sapp has been in the news for a clip that was out, I guess it was like 2 years ago. It has resurfaced, and boy, oh boy, the Saints, the Aints, and everyone in between are running his head into the ground. So, Boogie, how do you feel about what you saw in the clip and what Marvin then said afterwards? How do you feel about everything?
I do want to show partial of the clip just for context for those that I don't know, that didn't see it, that could care less.
Only in talent, but also in treasure. Leaders lead in time, talent, and treasure. I was taught a long time ago that it costs to sit up here. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
He wanted to say MFing right there.
Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant.
Wow.
There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come.
Wow.
Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket.
As he pull out his clip. Listen, you know what? I saw bits and pieces of the clip, and this particular, I was able to find the full entire clip. And hey, man, this is a church. You cannot force someone to give tithes if they ain't got it. The fact that you pulled out your little clip and you had a nice little band wad of money, that says a lot about how we are in the system when it comes to the churches. Stop. He talking about 1,000 people watching, give what they can. I wish I would be in the damn attendance to see Marvin Sapp, and he says that, and he talking about close the doors.
Close the doors.
I would be wrestling and fighting them ushers to get the hell up out of there, because you ain't about to catch me. Who cares if I'm going to the restaurant or not? You're not about to tell me what I can or can't do with my money. I just find it very funny that people with money are asking or suggesting or forcing people to give money. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well,
God did. God did.
God did.
God did. God did. God did.
All right.
Okay. So this is my opinion on this comes from being a church kid. So that's where some of my opinion comes from.
Okay.
Some of this is going to be for people who do not go to church, who've never been in the church, who are vehemently said that word right against the church. Why do you care? For people who don't do anything religiously, why do you care what goes on there? That's like me. Like for certain places and things, like if I'm not I don't ride a motorcycle, so I don't give a fuck what goes on in motorcycle bars. I don't
Okay.
care. Now being the church kid, I've seen these things tons and tons and tons of times. Yes, there are crooked preachers out there. They be fleecing the flock. That happens all the time. There are
Okay.
good ones out there as well. A lot of cases they do say things in these regards where the doors are closed, because let's be real, altar calls, offering, those are supposed to be sacred times. It's usually no movement or anything like that, just because if someone is there catching a healing, if they are there and someone's praying for something, for whatever they're to be delivered from, you don't want people moving around, because again, it's like, yo, prayer is going on, so why are we shifting and moving and doing all that stuff? It's like I'm in a funeral. People know what reverence is, or at least they should know what that is. When it comes to offerings, they do that as a lot of safety measures, because again, especially if you're in a big church. Small churches maybe not, because no one's running up in those, but let's not act like churches have not been robbed. Like, let's not sit up here and play like that doesn't happen. Now again, that whole closing of the doors, that was very forceful, and even he admitted it shouldn't have been said in that regard. More context to this: they were not in a church, they were in a convention center in Baltimore, and this was a convention. And this is not me caping for Marvin or the Saints or any of that. Just putting context here. At
Okay.
those conventions, they are going to raise money. And as he said, they called me to be like, hey, this convention has to keep going on, yada, yada, yada. I'm here to take up this blessing for that convention. Get all of that. Not going to see that in a 30-second clip. Where I think you missed the mark at is, instead of saying it like that, why not have like a bulletin board of like, hey, we've raised 50 grand for next year's convention. We are short $40,000. What can we take up an offering to make sure this convention continues? People do that all the time for all
Yeah.
types of events. I feel like that's how that wording should have been said. And I don't like the whole notion of people, oh, he's strong arming kidnapping. They do. Anyone who's ever been in a church, they will let you out. They will just, the ushers be like, hey, it's offering time right now, blah, blah, blah. So where you gotta go? I gotta go to the bathroom. And they will be, okay, go to the bathroom, whatever. So it's not a locking of the doors like that. And anyone who's been in a church, you know that. Again, totally wrong in how he said that. I'm not gonna disagree with that. And to the point of where a lot of people are twisting where he's like, oh, $1,000 and all this, not $1,000, but like it costs to be up here in the pulpit. He's not lying, because you were in leadership. And for people who are in leadership, before I ask to give anything, you should be the person who starts it off giving the most. And he did. I saw the clip. He went out of his pocket. I have been in several churches, not the scammy ones, I don't go to those, where the ministry is like, we do need donations or whatever. And the man of God, woman of God do start it off with, here's $1,000 check from our household. Give what you want. That's where people's stupidity comes in. And it's like, look, bro, God, for people who read their Bible, who are Christians and all this stuff, where's your discernment at? God did not say be stupid. If you don't have the $20 to give, don't give anything. Give $1, give 50 cents. People act like they forget the stories in the Bible where you had people literally trying to pay their way into heaven. And we saw the poor lady who gave, I think it was like 4 pennies or whatever. And God was like, Jesus was like, she is out giving all of you. You can't buy your way into heaven. So it's like we forget those things. I've heard preachers talk about, I'm ranting. I did not have any money to give, so I would give pencils. And I know he literally was, I would give pencils. That was my sign of being like, God, I have literally nothing, but I have this pencil. I have this pencil. And so it's like, you're just giving as a sign of, this is my faith. And I've seen tons of people who give, lights get turned off. You're an idiot. If you know that you have a bill that needs to be paid, do not go up there and put it in that collection plate. And any preacher that's telling you to do that, those people are wrong, and they're gonna go to hell. They're gonna have to stand for that. They gotta stand for that. So I close this by saying, some of you who are upset don't know everything that's going on in the church. Yes, he was wrong in that aspect of it, but also tax the goddamn church, man. Tax these niggas. I am a proponent of tax all of these niggas. Then we will really see how many books and albums y'all niggas are selling. Kenneth Copeland's, the Joel Osteen's, tax all these niggas. My bad. Sorry for my lengthy rant.
No. You have every right to voice your opinion. And, just to close it out with my little
Hit me
2
with it.
cents. Just because, I've been to church a handful of times, and hey, I have a different feel. I have a different opinion on overall just giving donations and whatnot, and tithes. And discernment, yes, people do need the discernment, but you also have to remember people overall are slow.
And that's what these preachers be banking on. Literally banking on it.
So common sense ain't always common to everyone. So yes, explaining left and right to folks now, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. It's not gonna catch them unless it's done in the moment. So yes,
Yeah.
Marvin should have said it a little different. Should have reworded it a little different. And maybe, maybe we didn't catch the time where he might have said it earlier. But you saying close the doors for you to in order for them to save the the convention, for it to continue on. Hey man, that's all we hear. We only
Right.
hear.
I mean, but that's one of the reasons why I hate the internet. Not to cut you off, but it's that 30-second clip. And again, he was wrong. Not saying he's not wrong. Even he admitted, yeah, that was wrong in that wording. But that was from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a 30-second clip. And it's like the people who are in those types of communities and things, they know what it is. I'm just like, for niggas who don't go to church, why y'all so upset? Like, why you mad?
Yeah, I'm not upset. It's more so like I hope nobody expect me the 1 or 2 times I'm my heathen ass jumping to church and not
They don't. Them niggas don't. You know the amount of times where they probably go back there and they're like, yeah, tough day today. We did not collect enough. But I that's the thing where, again, it's like people, and I get, like what you said, comments is not so common, but it should be common enough to be like, yo, I gotta pay to keep my lights on.
Yeah.
I'm not putting in my last in the church. Like, come on, because people do that and then they're like, well, where's my blessing? It's like, bro, the blessing is just in the faith.
That's
you
not how it works.
$2.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So,
right. But also tax them niggas, man. Tax them. Like, this all will stop when you tax these motherfuckers. Like, you gotta tax them.
That ain't happening.
It needs to. Like, it really needs to. Like, it shouldn't be where niggas in the plant can just pop up and be like, I got an LLC. I'm starting a church. No, nigga. Did you go to seminary? Did you do any of this? Do you even know what the books in the Bible are? What are the first 5 books, nigga? What are the last 5 books? Like, come on. We're literally letting fucking construction workers go, yeah, this is my church. Greater Ebenezer Baptist. Come on over here. No. Cut this shit out. In other angry nigga topics, a lot of people were very upset with this gentleman. I don't even know his nigga's name. It doesn't even matter.
Really don't.
Boogie, there was a gentleman, he had an interview, left his 1, 6, and 10-year-old children at McDonald's where he went to the interview. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good dad. He is working very hard to provide, yada, 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 yada. Then come to find out, a concerned citizen was like, oh my gosh, there's children here, unsupervised, yada, yada, yada. Cops are called, mother is called. We then get to the point where this gentleman is arrested. And the internet is just like, oh my God, there's so many shitty dads out here who aren't in their children's lives. We shouldn't be condemning this man here, to the tune of looks like $80,000 has been raised for this man. You know, and lo and behold, Boogie, we find out that this nigga was lying. Surprise, surprise. This nigga was lying. His little daughter ended up saying, Daddy went to go and deliver a package. Nigga did check in on his kids. They said once or twice in between delivering the package. A little more context for everyone who was like, I was left at home all the time. Nigga left his kids for 2 hours in a McDonald's. So now you have all the details. Judge Boogie, what should happen to this gentleman?
Hey, man. Why? Where's the mom? The mom's probably at work.
The mom picked the kids up. There's so many holes here as to where it was like,
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Dropping off a package. What kind of package? You dropping off the package? You trying to drop off your package? Is there packages?
You know, I was
being dropped.
There's a girlfriend in the story too. So I was like what you said, was the package? Or was there another package?
Because it could be several packages.
It's a lot of packages.
It's a lot of packages. No, yeah, you know, questions when situations like this happen, I always like to sit, you know, I want to sit people down and be like, do you want to be a parent? Just throwing it out there, because you know,
no.
You know, there are resources and options out here. Do you still want to do this? Like, because you know that's not right. It'd be different if like he sat down. I'm trying to get him. Yeah.
Let me give you a little more context too, but I get a little more context. So the McDonald's, so he did go on an interview. Okay. The interview was at a Best Western. The Best Western or the hotel was attached to the McDonald's. So in theory, he was, I'm gonna leave y'all here, go do this little 15-minute interview, had the on-site interview, and the manager was like, "Nah, we never planned on calling him back," you know. And then he ended up leaving, still going for them 2 hours with that package. So now that you have this information,
yeah. See, and guess what? You will never get a job with that mindset. Unless he doesn't want a job. Maybe he's just doing it just to do it, to keep everybody's mouths from, you know, from talking. 3 kids is diabolical. That's diabolical.
It's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so here's the thing, right? I got so many questions like, where was the mom? Maybe this was your time.
Yeah.
If the mom was able to pick them up, maybe she was at work, like you said, so she couldn't, whatever. But if she was available, it's still like, hey, I have this interview. Can you just watch them? And if she says no, okay, why not take the kids with you to the interview? Also, I would rather you leave the kids at home than leave them at a McDonald's.
Maybe he ain't got a home.
He did. He said his apartment was up the street and he didn't want the kids walking back by themselves. And I'm like, okay, bro, so why not leave them there? They should not have been left there.
He's just a dunce.
And it's just like, bro, the sex trafficking and child trafficking in Georgia is one of the highest in the country. That is one of the states. You shouldn't leave your kids anywhere. But it's like, bro, what are
of all doing? Places, right?
Anyone could have walked in there, could have been a creeper, could have snatched your kids. What if your kids just fell and split their wig? And there was so many people who was like, well, my mom left me and all. And I was like, they shouldn't have. They should not have. And I know it's probably comes from a place of privilege because my mom was a homemaker, blah, 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 blah. There was always somebody at the crib.
Yeah.
Always someone to pick you up, whether it was other homemaker friends who would pick up, oh, your mom, we're picking you up today, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All those types of things. Still, my parents, I asked my mom, I was like, what age did you leave? So I left y'all probably at 12. When I was 12. Because my brother, he's like 3 years younger than me. So it's like when you were 12, and it was test runs. I'm going to the store, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay, I can go to dinner for an hour. It wasn't, I'm just going to leave you for 2-3 hours with a 10-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 1-year-old. In what world is a 10-year-old capable of maybe the 6-year-old, but what world is a 10-year-old capable of dealing with a 1-year-old? Like, I really need people to use the common sense that Boogie said wasn't so common earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back how old I was, and I don't know if I was 10.
That's what I'm saying. It might not have been that young, and I'm 99.9% certain Mama Boogie wasn't like, let me leave 10-year-old Boogie with a
Yeah.
1-year-old, a
Yeah,
fucking toddler.
nah, that's wild. No,
Like,
that's wild.
what are we doing here? Like, a 10-year-old does not have the mental capacity, if something goes wrong, to take care of a baby.
Yeah,
And there's so many people. Like I said, I get that you were latchkey kids. I don't think most of y'all were at home with toddlers like that. Let's go back and
yeah,
be
that's
real.
different. That's different. It's
And
different.
all these latchkey kids as well. You were at home. Your mama and daddy did not drop you off at a McDonald's.
Yeah,
And what's even more infuriating is the bullshit. I was like, man, the bar is set so goddamn low
yeah.
because we really, old girl in Detroit, when that issue with her kids in the car, niggas was ready, and they're still investigating that issue. But niggas was bashing her head, and she's a bad
Mhm.
mother. She's all this stuff. Y'all literally be running women's heads in the ground. But this nigga who literally did something where it's like, I'm endangering my kids. Let's raise $80,000 for him, man.
Damn,
Like,
y'all got all that money. Y'all should be tossing it to the church.
what are y'all niggas doing?
Go tell Marvin.
Like, y'all niggas is tripping. Literally.
For real.
He deserves all that time, man. And honestly, the children do need that money. So all you goofy ass niggas who gave money in the first place to this nigga, give it to the mom. Put it in a trust for the mom.
Yeah.
Stupid ass niggas. Well, you know what? This podcast is going to be a stupid ass nigga podcast because going from this stupid ass nigga to another stupid ass nigga. Every story has been stupid ass niggas.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is being recorded a day after we recorded the first half. Just want to let you know. And Final Four happened. Yeah, the Final Four happened, and my gosh, you know, I was hoping for a W, but
let's go back to that because I did say Auburn was gonna win, so wrong just twice in a row.
Wrong on both ends. Okay, we both just wrong. But also, I will say that Florida game, and Auburn game, that was a good game too.
Yeah, that was.
That was a good game too. I will say I like games when it's an actual matchup, and you can tell that all four number ones really wanted to be there until they didn't want to be there.
Not just wanted to be there, but they all deserved. These were arguably the four best teams left.
Absolutely.
In the country. But you know what? Was crazy even before I get back to the Duke. There was another tournament on, and I was like, when the hell did they have another tournament going on when the Final Four was going on? I was like, what is the Crown tournament? And it's just like, we got too much going on here. If you lost and your team didn't make it, that's it, bro. We can't just keep creating new tournaments and giving out participation trophies. It was the NCAA and it's the NIT. Now we got every tournament under the sun. Cut it out.
Wait, I didn't realize. I know you said it was another tournament, and I was just thinking about the women's tourney. But there's a tournament outside of the NCAA.
Yes, it is. This is the first year. It was like the Crown tournament, and I had to Google it. I was like, "What is this?" And it's like a tournament for like the at-large schools. You didn't make it or whatever. So Big 10, Pac-12, Pac-10, whatever the fuck they call themselves nowadays. Yada yada yada. And I was like, this, I mean, there was some good games on Villanova, Nebraska, but I was still just like, what's the point of this? Like, NIT or NCAA? What are we doing?
But also, in order for change to happen, you have to implement these new things and get a little uncomfortable. So maybe this is another. Okay, maybe this is just another way. We all know this is another ploy for schools to garner more money. In addition with the television networks, but. Hey man, student athletes, I should say, still need that yearn for a W. You know what I'm saying?
Find it.
No, because honestly, I'm like, what would be the best word? You know, that fire, like knowing that you are one and done after, after like being able to fight to get into the tourney. What is it, like 100 some teams or whatever, 60 some
64.
teams, whatever. Look, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look, you can tell I don't watch this shit, but I'm just saying.
Sports.
Okay, I'm just saying, like 64 teams is wild. The fact that it's one game and that's it.
Okay, so competition committee chairman Boogie is in agreement with 18 other tournaments as well. Okay, so why don't we just open it up to like 100 plus schools instead of having more tournaments?
No, you make another tourney. Isn't that what the rolls, all those bowls is for? It's the same thing.
I mean, but then we take away the
allure of
a championship, because I get, but even in those bowl games they still have the national championship. So are you saying I get what you're saying. So is it going to be like these 64 are the top that can compete for the championship? The rest of y'all were good, but y'all didn't make it. So if you were on the fringe, the bubble, you still have a chance to get like quote unquote a bowl or a championship win. That's what
I think so. Like, listen, I think a lot of parents put all this money and dedication and sacrifice in, just like the students. They need to come out with something.
Okay, I feel you.
I'm leaving with something.
Boogie's like, I'm the commissioner of all college. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Okay, when you explain it like that, I'm not mad at that, because the way they have it now, I was just like, what is this? Also, the reason why I think it was kind of irritating was, who did y'all explain this to outside of the players? Because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, that's terrible marketing. The fact that we didn't know about this, and then you just see a random game, thinking that it's tourney-like, but then it's a different.
Yeah, it's like, man, it was like a big ass crown. I was like, okay, what rapper put this tournament together?
Not rapper.
Now, what's gonna be crazy is we're gonna see an onslaught of Cooper Flag commercials, and this dude ain't even in the final game. Like, it's gonna be AT&T this, AT&T that.
You sound like a hater. Like,
you already know I am.
All right. I will say I have seen a couple videos already come out like, Coop, I told y'all. Listen, y'all can't deny this man's talent though. So yes. Guess what? A lot of people did. Caitlin Clark didn't win.
That's not the best.
I know.
You gotta pick.
I'm trying to.
Don't do Coop like that, Boogie. Don't do Coop like
that. I will say, Cooper, outside of that last 3 minutes, Cooper was looking real elite, and I was just like, and this is why he's the top player.
Cooper is a dog. He deserved that Wooden Award. Or Naismith, what was it? Naismith, one of them.
Yeah, it was Nate. It was Nate.
And then we rarely say this, but that's a cold ass white boy.
No, for real.
And some of them are cold in college and they fizzle out in the league.
True.
I feel like there's no fizzle here. It's just going to be one of those things where he has to get used to, and I think he is. I mean, who doesn't mess up in pressure moments? It happens. He gets on the right team. He's going to be a lottery pick. Let's be real. Yeah. None of them niggas is coming back. Let's be real. If Duke fans everywhere, enjoy this ride. Not saying y'all not going to be back, but y'all literally had a loaded team. Y'all had the equivalent of what South Carolina's women's basketball team has, all dogs, and y'all choked it away. That's not to say that Houston's team isn't dog, because Boogie, I was looking at their conditioning, and we talked about it before. Folks was looking gassed out there. Folks
not
was
them.
Looking hella gassed.
They look like they could have kept going. They could have kept playing.
They run the 12-minute mile or whatever. Everybody on the team is under 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's 5 minutes. The biggest dude is like 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So it's like them niggas.
I also
third, fourth gear.
I also have to remind people, and I think people forget, this man's supposed to be a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Let's let's not
That's also
forget
very
this.
true.
Cooper Flag is literally a child. No, like for real. His,
Just turned 18.
his twin brother is literally watching the game,
Yep.
about to graduate high school.
That's also
let's put
crazy.
that in there. No, let's just put that in there in perspective.
They were talking about that, and I was like, how is that even possible? Also, if I'm like, because they're twins.
Yeah.
So if homie has a scholarship to go to University of Maine or whatever, I still would be punching the air. Like, why, God? We the same height. We got the same everything. Except one nigga just gets to go to Duke. Like, I'm just like, and you know what's crazy? Mama played college ball.
Yep.
Pops played college ball.
Yep.
I'm convinced Granny's played college ball too.
Yeah.
The whole family is just killers. I did feel bad. Okay. I don't like seeing people cry like that. There's a certain part of me that you kind of do because it's Duke and you're like, ha, can't stand you bastards. But also, like you said, these are kids. So you're just like, man, that is a tough loss to see. And then to have the whole world kind of be like, ha. But also, it's like, bro, you about to make a bag, several bags. So
yeah, you have to put things in perspective. Shout out to the entire team. Overall, I mean, for them to lose at the Final Four, this is their fourth loss. Let's just put that in perspective as well. So this will be, this team is going down as one of the, winningest team for the Duke, for Duke. So shout out to them again.
As a sports fan.
Yeah, as a sports fan, go ahead.
Want to see them come back?
No.
Or are you just like, oh, y'all go to the league?
No. Honestly, realistically, I think a lot of them have a lot of them. The fact that they were able to sub out damn near the entire team and then bring in the second team and they still stayed up. Like if people didn't watch the game, they were up by 10 for it or led the game the entire game.
Damn near the whole game.
There was only 2 times where I felt nervous during the entire game. And that Houston just didn't give up. And that's just a testament to their, like you said, their fortitude, their stamina to be able to be like, this 10, 12 points don't mean nothing. We still about to fight.
They are 6-1, now 7-1 when they are down by more than 15 points. So I mean, there's that. There's the conditioning. It's just like, wow. Before we move on, who are you going with, Florida or Houston? And remember, Houston has a black head coach. Let's see what Boogie does.
I mean, at this point, just because they beat Duke, I want to see Houston win. That's just both of these states are red states, so I could care less. Tell you the truth, I'm that person. I'd be like, where are y'all located?
Where y'all located at?
Yeah, I don't like y'all.
I'm going with Houston as well. It's a black city. We got H-Town. You got to throw it for that.
Yeah,
black head coach Hakeem Olajuwon was there. So
I did see him.
So I'm definitely going to go with Houston.
This gonna be I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't watching the game though. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the highlights and check in on the damn game.
I will definitely watch the game. One more thing about Houston: there's some old ass niggas on that team. Have you seen them niggas? Them niggas are old shit.
First of all, I thought we had an old nigga with the graduate dude who is like 5 years in.
Man, it was some 6 years. I was like, they get 6 years. I was like,
hey,
God damn.
Yeah, this is kind of funny, but I guess if you still eligible during grad school.
Hey man, we got niggas that's like 35 years old still.
Yeah, it's a little. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little wild to me. But hey, if y'all letting this fly, let it fly.
Niggas look like Sheldon Williams in the face. It's like I'm 18. It's like, nigga, no, you're not. Check these niggas' birth certificates. I will tune into the women's game today. That is going to be a dog ass
Yeah,
game.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Versus
excited for that.
South
That's gonna
Carolina.
be that's gonna be something. And you know, I get what everyone's saying about like, you know, South Carolina always winning right now, but this is their season. Don't act like UConn wasn't in their bag for
Man.
years on end, and now guess what? There's another team that's stepping up and doing their thing.
Yeah, people often forget that it was UConn and Tennessee for the longest
Yep,
time. Though
yep,
it was literally Pat Summitt versus
yep,
Gino every
yep.
freaking year. Um, they hate because she's a black woman.
Duh.
And this notion of we get too many All-Americans. When has that ever been a problem? That's
Facts.
literally all of college sports. Do y'all
Yeah,
not watch football, basketball? We literally just talk. You look at Duke's team.
yeah,
Everybody's All-American. So
yeah,
shut up.
yeah.
Don't be mad that one school has more All-Americans than the other. Step your NIL game up.
I was just about to say, step your recruitment up. You're doing the wrong thing. Clearly, people are out here trying to run to these teams that are stacked out because they know that it's a great program.
Like, yeah, man. Like, come on, man. Too many All-Americans. Well, okay, shut up.
I hate that you're saying it that way.
Get your money up. All right, now back to what you folks want to hear about. Sean Kingston and his mother are, have been convicted of that fraud.
Oh God.
What's even crazier about this? He's been given house arrest. She herself has been considered a flight risk. Again, how the internationally known famous rapper who be on them jet skis, he be out here doing them things. He is told I can stay at home, but my 64-year-old mother, she has to sit down for a minute. The thing that got a lot of people choosing sides was it's a 20-year, potentially 20 years that they
Wow.
can do. And it's like, hey, man, who is taking this time? There's a lot of people that was like, hey, you're younger, you eat that whole bit. Some people was like, nah. Mom was the ringleader. Mom has had several run-ins with the law when it has come to fraud before.
Damn.
Mom's gonna eat that time. Judge Boogie, what would you do if this was Mama Boogs?
The first thing I definitely want to make a point is we have to have a conversation of blowing your money fast. Because at one point, Sean Kingston was everywhere, and I thought he was so successful that he was setting himself up and his family up for life. Just listening to, everything that he was buying and blowing off and stuff like that for his family and, friends and clearly his mama too. Because what happened is his mama was like, I'm used to this lifestyle. I'm going to need you to continue on getting it. Here you go. These are the schemes that I have devised and planned. What's all of this is telling me is mama is the mastermind. That's really what's happening. And the fact that Sean Kingston is okay with just being in the house, he was like, I just want to sit. I'll sit in the house. I don't want to go nowhere. I'll be in the house for 20 years. I'm okay with that. Now, knowing that the mama is going to get some actual jail time, I'm sure mama's going to be like, but why can't my son? But my son no.
So you're saying mom is going to snitch?
Yeah, I hope it's not that way. But to me, I feel like Sean Kingston would definitely be like, what the bud clot, I would like to take the time, from my mama if I could. That's really what it is. She was going to fly back to Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, she was definitely about to be on that jet.
And be like in the waters, in the cut, in the jungle somewhere.
Can go through the driving. She was about to be on that jet ski. Like, I'm up out of here.
I just, what? I feel bad because I feel like, again, this is all mother's mastermind plan. She was probably scheming like them Jamaicans be, not to say, hey, not to throw out all of throwing shots left and right. But it feels like to me that they have a lot more evidence back on mom to show that Sean was literally just a mule.
He was, I didn't know. So are you doing the time for Mama Bugs, or is Mama Bugs doing that time?
That's a great question. That is a great question. And I gotta be honest,
What we doing?
I don't know. I mean, I would do the time. I would do the time just because I got more life to live.
Okay.
I got more life to live.
But being that your mom, this is not your mom's first run in. All right, what's the conversation like?
Yeah, that's
because you know mom's palms might be itching. I feel another scam coming on.
Great
so
question.
Easy to do fraud. So you take a 20-year bid for mom, and she out here still doing the same thing.
Like I said, I'll take the bid, but I definitely would tell my mom, "Hey, we can't do this shit no more. We gotta go legal or none at all, because I'm only gonna be in here one time. I'm gonna try to get I'm gonna try to get out early, and if I get out early and I hear you still on that BS, hey man, whatever happens, happens. At this point, I'm putting my hands up. I gotta be like, she chose her side.
I'm sorry for you. I still think this whole thing is so funny that, again, the 64-year-old is the flight risk, but not the quote unquote.
She got that dog in her. That's why she got that dog.
They really was like, you ain't the average grandma. You ain't the average 64-year-old, because you be out here. This is crazy because it's just like, look, man.
What would you do? You pose that question for me. What would you do?
Back to it goes back to what you were saying earlier, because there was definitely the allure, or that oh, he's doing it, he got money. And now that we're much older, because he came out when we were like those college ranges, so most of these niggas is faking the funk. So this very well could have been one of those, I don't have the money to pay for any of these things, so we have to do fraud. Maybe this was one of those things. But also, I'm just like, hey, bro, you was writing and producing for a lot of people.
Yeah,
just lend your services out like T-Pain, and you would have been right back up, because T-Pain lost it all, and then he was right back up. You should have got upon something like that, bro. Because again, everybody wanted the Sean Kingston record at the time. We all used to hear that boom wah in the beginning. It was like, oh shit, this is Sean Kingston record. This is one of those things where it has to be like, did he really know? Because if it was just like, I didn't know, because some people legit don't know because their parents manipulate them to that point where it's like,
that's true.
I don't know what we're doing over here. And then the hammer comes down. You're like, oh shit, we was doing wrong shit. This LLC wasn't really ours, mama. Maybe it was some shit like that. Do I think that? No, I absolutely don't.
I was about to say, hey, I love my mom, but ain't no way in hell I'm just gonna let her just do shit willy-nilly without my knowing. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't think that was it. This goes down to, these sound like these are gonna be federal charges, because I think I read they were in a federal court in Miami. So Mom is gonna be in one of those Martha Stewart type of jail. So being that Mom's is going to be in a Martha Stewart type of jail.
Wow.
You don't have to eat all that time, Moms, because you were the ring leader.
Wow. I did not hear that. I did not expect that coming. Wow.
Hey, man. Who's the elder here?
Wow.
Who is supposed to lead and guide me, the child?
So you telling me if Nate Mama Dukes was like, hey, so woo wop the bam, woody whoop, they got me, they got us, they talking about a 20-year bid unless you step up on the plate. What you think about that? You gonna help your mama out?
What's the unless? Is it okay? It's 20 years for moms, but is it okay? We give you 2, give you 4. What's the unless? Because if it's anything, okay, you got 16. Nah, she gotta do that time. She gotta do that time.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying, Boogie. Look,
Okay.
And this is honestly, this is the difference between men and women. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the difference. We are some nurturers, and y'all just be like, "The fuck, she did what she had to do."
I'm just okay. Look, she's gonna have money on her books.
Wow.
It's club fed boogie. It's like she ain't gonna be in here with no murderers or nothing. You gonna be in here with other white collar crime people. She's gonna have money on her books. And also, if I'm Sean Kingston though, and I'm able to be out, I'm cranking records out like Tupac back in the day. I'm in the studio. It's literally like, damn, this nigga dropped another one. Yes, another one, another one, another one. Like it's like mixtape season.
Ain't nobody messing with Sean no more.
Hey man, you better change. It's Kingston Sean. You gonna mess with somebody? Like, look, you gonna get these records. Like, I don't care if he got to put on a Daft Punk mask and go in there and produce something for somebody else. Like, look, bro.
I mean, you're not lying. That's what That's what Young Bird did.
Like, you don't put the potential big money earner in jail. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. She's 64 years old, but also it's 20 years.
She's 64 years old. She should have known better.
It's like when we start to look at it, it's like how much time. I know it's kind of morbid, but it's like we start to count. Like I'm in my 30s. I got how much earning potential out 20 years out the game, Boogie.
Damn.
Even though nobody's checking for him, still 20 years. It's just like, hey man.
See, you see that? Mama? I will take a bid for you. Unlike some of these niggas.
Again, I will take the bid if it is 2 years or less. Like, what we doing here?
Wow. That's not a bid. That's a little visit.
Okay. If it's a 20-year bid in the house, I will do that. I'll do that because I can have a studio in the crib. I can have food. You can have everything brought to you.
True.
Sean Kingston can have a hose. They can
That's
come to
jail. That's jail, nigga.
But it's my own house.
Okay.
You don't get no hose in jail.
Yes,
you can. The ones that you want.
Get these raggedy ass jails.
You get the scallywags when you go in there.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
House arrest. It's like, yeah, I got this palatial bag. I can't leave. But
you said not the hose you want. You get some hose.
I'm just saying, but oh man, in other
this guy here, I swear.
In other news, we will have to give a shout out to some creators out here who have shown you that hey, anything is legit possible. Netflix has picked up the viral balloon pop show. What were their names? It's Arletta, and let me get that because I want to make sure I give them their proper proppers.
Not you just making up some shit. Pop the balloon.
Yeah, what did I say? Balloon pop? Yeah, pop the balloon. My bad. I don't want to. It's true old niggas. What's the show where they pop them balloons?
Always messing shit up. Pop that pussy, that motherfucker,
pop the balloons, pop the balloons. It is married couple Arletta Amule, pardon me if I mispronounce your name, and her husband Boile Mutunda. Kudos again to them.
Hell yeah.
The show it's actually one of them funny ass shows. Do I watch it? Hell no. Yeah. I don't. I do enjoy the clips of it. I think I may have watched one full episode of it. It's because my nieces had it on.
Oh, okay.
And funny. Like the clips don't really do it justice. Picked up, they have what's her name? Who's hosting it?
Yvonne Orji.
Yvonne Orji is now going to be the host. So I think that's dope. Kudos.
Yeah.
What you think?
I really I like the fact that they brought in a quote unquote name.
What?
What do you mean what?
You're not one of those who's why did they not keep the regular rules?
No,
I can't believe they're doing this to them. They're cutting them out.
You also have to remember they are trying to draw a larger audience, and they don't get it twisted. The couple is still getting backed with executive production,
Yep.
producing credit. So might I add, they getting that shmoney too without having to be on camera. So kudos to them. And now because it's their show as well, they probably have hopefully agreed to have some type of creative control in order to really make this show a bigger and better show. The fact that it's live, that's what's really throwing me off. That this is going to be a live broadcasting, and Netflix is already trying their little had their little hand on the live tip and hasn't gone too well.
Yeah.
They and they also have I don't know if you know, there's another live show that they're doing right now, this late night live show, and I haven't checked it out yet, but
it's all from us. Where our lawyers at? Where the late night with Nate and Adrian lawyers at?
hey man,
It's cold.
Yeah, it's getting real parallel thinking for sure. So
yeah, again, to all your points there, I think there's a lot of people who don't understand the industry or how things move, because I had so many conversations and I was like, yo, they're still EPing, like chill out. You have to have a face to make things move. Do I think that this is no knock against Yvonne or anything? I don't necessarily think that's the face, because I think this show is very messy. Like, call it what it is. This is a messy ass show.
Yeah.
And the host does a very good job of being in the mess, but not being in the mess.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's other hosts. This is, again, not a knock, because Yvonne is dope in what she does.
Yeah.
I just don't know if her personality is the mess. There's some personalities out here where it's like, you can keep this conversation flowing. You can dip a toe in, and it's like, oh, we're getting good here. But I'm going to tune in to see if, dare I say, if it works. Because like you said, Boogie, Netflix and live, it's like oil and water. They don't go hand in hand, because we've had blunders with these comedy specials. You had a certain population of people who couldn't even get on to actually see the stuff. What was an issue with the Beyonce concert as well? Like, it's been so many things that they've.
I mean, you have to keep trying. So, and just to double on what you said about Yvonne Orji, I think she's hosted a couple things, but it hasn't been live, and so this is where your stand-up improv and experience really need to tap in. So I don't think she will have any problem, but I will say this will be a new light that we've seen her in. So totally.
But again, kudos to them, and also, hey man, creators, Netflix, these big studios, they're always watching. So
they really are.
There, negotiate very well.
keep fighting. Sure.
Keep on doing what you do, Boogie.
Yes, sir.
Boogie. It's time to get to your favorite segment.
Is it a segment?
Is it? Yeah, it is. Who you got for y'all niggas is tripping?
My y'all niggas is tripping has got to go out to McDonald's. Now, McDonald's.
Mick or Mac? What do you call it?
McDonald's. Why, you say McDonald's?
No, I say Mick. It makes my skin crawl when people say Mac. I'm like, there's no goddamn A there. It's Mick.
McDonald's, whatever you want to call it. These niggas are tripping. Now, we already know they've already served over 1 million. 1 million served. It's all on their signs. Every corner, every street, every McDonald's. Now, they've tried this before, if you don't recall, but McDonald's tried to bring out the McPlant in the U.S.
Better name than that.
Hey, this is what they trying right now. Yeah, McDonald's tried to do the McPlant out in the U.S. and they tested it out and they found out that it didn't work too well. They worked with Beyond Meat and they tried to find an iteration that they thought would be juicy and delectable like the other burgers. I just want to remind people, we already got a plant, quote unquote, vegetable based burger in McDonald's. We don't know whether or not this meat is beef. They did have a quick run of like telling people this is 100% beef, and then they totally pulled and stopped that shit because we all knew that shit was fake.
Man,
why are y'all still trying? Apparently, now in Canada, they are now testing out a vegetable-based burger. Vegetable-based burger, not like how they had with Beyond Meat, but a vegetable-based burger. I don't care if it's a tire-based burger, a Michelin tire-based burger. Stop it. Stop trying to get in every industry. Y'all are doing the damn thing. Okay, y'all already got fries. You already got the fries locked down. Ain't nobody can touch you on the right. Nobody can touch you on the fry tip. Okay, you got that and you got that locked down. And the burgers and the breakfast food. Come on now, ain't nobody. No one's topping you. Why do you? See, this is greed right here. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. And for those that are watching this, if you can see on the screen, I have a picture of the vegetable-based burger, and this is the sorriest burger I've ever seen in my life. It looks like a mixture of a veggie burger and honestly of an orange piece of a rubber. Like this it just looks inedible. It just looks trash. And I get you guys are trying to reinvent the wheel and always trying to come out with some more creative stuff. Just bring back the fish fillet every so often and y'all be okay. Like stop it, guys. Y'all doing too much with this.
A couple of things here. You forgot that they do the Coke very well there.
And
yes. The Sprite.
Yes.
They got the beverage game on lock.
Yeah. Bring back the McRib, bring back the fish fillet here and there, and call it a day. I don't like the McRib. I don't like the McRib, but I know people.
Okay, I was about to say.
No, thank you. Listen,
that's going up for the McRib.
Yeah, again, that's another vegetable. That's another plant-based or whatever they put in there, filler-based as meat.
Yeah. So what you have pictured up there, it looks like an old ass McChicken. Like it looks like they was like, let's just not take it out the grease. That's what that looks like. Like you said, Boogie, this is it's greed, but also it's one of those things where it's like, don't do shit you can't do.
Yeah.
Like that's what this is. Like you do really good things over there. Also, dare I say, there's tons of places. If I want a veggie burger, I can go get one.
Yeah, I know.
Vegan. It's tons of other places. I don't need to go to y'all for that. Also, I can tell you ain't been to McDonald's in a while. Because the fish fillet is one of those. It never goes away.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I could tell. Boogie, I was like, yeah, Boogie don't really. She don't be messing with the boards. She don't be slumming. She don't be slumming.
All right.
Boogie don't be knocking back a couple of them double fish fillets like your boy over here.
Wow.
Sometimes, you be feeling froggy, Boogie. Sometimes.
Hey, you don't got to explain.
Not gonna lie, I did go to Arby's yesterday, and
wow,
I got what you said right there is what a lot of it was like. So you are the one nigga keeping them open. I was like, I am. I must be.
Well, maybe what happened is that one of the people on McDonald's and their team, they was like, hey man, we gotta get a burger out. We gotta get a veggie burger out.
Why not bring the snack wraps back? People have literally been like, yo, can y'all bring the snack wraps back? They just be bringing back stuff that nobody wants.
Yeah. What you got for your niggas is tripping?
My young niggas is tripping is just crazy all around. Ohio substitute teacher was arrested for hiring a student in a murder for hire plot against her husband. 44-year-old substitute teacher at the Academy of Urban Scholars High School in Columbus, Ohio, boo, go blue, was arrested last week and charged with one count of felony conspiracy to commit a crime, according to court records reviewed by Law and Crime. Excuse me. excuse me. Court documents obtained by Columbus ABC affiliate WSYX indicated that on March 26th, Demetrius allegedly approached an unidentified student, offering him $2,000 to murder her husband.
$2,000.
It gets better or worse. The age of the student has not been revealed. You know how she got caught, Boogie? She got caught when the mother of the student saw that there was text messages and there was initiation of a $250 down payment. Also, within these text messages, she let the student know the times that her children would not be at the home. She also let her know the times that her husband would be there because her husband works remotely. Also, let's point this out, how much she really wanted to get rid of this nigga. Wow. She has also in the past allegedly tried to run this man over and also stabbed this gentleman. So, safe to say, she did not want to be with him anymore. Who knows? Maybe she presented him with divorce papers and the nigga was like, I'm just not gonna sign. So I love you too much. So what does she do? Tries to stab you. I'm still not gonna sign. What does she do again? Tries to run you. I'm still not gonna sign. So she's just like, this nigga must be Superman. I just can't take him out. So what does she do? She's like, you know what? These YNs.
She said, let me enlist a YN to handle my problem.
These YNs are out of control. So who better than a YN to do this? I think, again, I'm not a criminal. I'm a civilian. If you're going to hire some YNs to do something like this, you probably should hire YNs who don't have their moms checking their phones. Maybe YNs who aren't still in school. There's plenty of YNs who literally just graduated. Don't live at home with their mama.
Literally on the corner.
Again, not saying do crimes, but I'm just like, well, the niggas, you a substitute teacher. You know what? I think I figured it out. I'm figuring it out. She was like, you know what? I'm going to get this YN to kill my husband. I'm a sub. I don't never have to come back here ever again. I can go another district. That's probably what her thought process was. That's got to be what the thought process was. But also, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave?
I don't understand that concept for a lot of people. I heard that somebody, husbands and wives getting pushed and trying to kill. Listen, what happened to just up and grabbing your stuff and removing yourself from the situation? What happened to that?
Like, that's what I'm saying, Boogie. It is blowing my mind here. Also, okay, so call me crazy here, but I kind of want to know, what was this nigga doing in the house to get you to that point where you take 3 attempts? Was he really doing something to you? Was this a cry for help? What was really going on in that household? Also, this might be one of them toxic ass situations where buddy's like, oh, she has some fire, dog. I just couldn't let it go. Because there's no, you know what? He can't be from here, Boogie. He can't be an American. He probably ain't no American brother. I'm sorry. Because this sounds like a nigga who's just like, I need to be here. This got to be one of them green card situations. I got to stick this out. Because there's no way, brother. There ain't no way.
How would you feel? Yeah, how would you feel safe maneuvering in the house, knowing that prior to this incident, you got stabbed and almost ran over?
Man, this is also, what are the kids thinking of this? Because they had kids, so it's just like,
mommy and daddy playing around. That's just mommy and daddy. They just playing around.
Oh, she just ran him over for the 5th time. Like, bruh, like literally, if I'm also go play the lottery, sir, you have cheated death like 3 times in your own household.
This nigga's like, a real cat right there with 9 lives.
Like, my nigga, you gonna be the next Mega Millions winner there, bro. Let's get to the final topic and we shall be right back.
Yes, sir.
It's the final topic. It's the final topic.
the hell is going on with our finances type of move? Klarna and DoorDash are now partnering to allow consumers to split their food deliveries up in 4 payments.
Wow.
Boogie, do you use Klarna? Are you
I have used Klarna before, yes, on a couple of things.
likewise?
Mostly like makeup, honestly. When I don't feel like throwing out a couple of hundred, I'd be like, you know what? Oh, I'm gonna break these payments up. Why not?
It makes sense for certain things. I have done it for lights, all types of stuff. Where again, like like yeah, I could do
Oh
it.
wait, lights like electricity lights, like
No, no,
your
no, no.
lights. Oh,
Like
I'd be like, that's the news right there. You can pay for
no, like
your light bill.
RGB tube lights and stuff. Okay,
Oh, okay.
don't let them start letting people put utilities and stuff on there.
That's what I was kind of threw me off. I'm like, wait a second, whoa.
You know what, folks might let me run this little car note through here on the Klarna.
Oh God.
How are you feeling about being able to? DoorDash is expensive now, so how are you feeling about being able to pay off DoorDash in 4 installments?
Hey man, I like that idea. First off, because them delivery fees and extra fees and the fees, the due fees, your thought fees, your mind fees, your walking fees, your brain fees, those fees are really out of this world. First, I will say it does encourages me to motivate me to really cook my own food and try not to order, knowing that all these fees and Klarna is like, we can take that over for you. Why not? We'll help you. Like, right. It just honestly, it feels like another reason to get you caught up. And I do understand that some people may need some help, including myself at times, but that also means you shouldn't be buying this right now.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the ones when I can see a lot of issues with this. I can see kids who have access to DoorDash accounts. And so why the hell you ain't just pay for it? Well, it was hard. So your parents going to be like, why am I paying off a Big Mac in 4 installments? It's like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't knock it because I get it. There are people who are struggling right now. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, you're poor. You shouldn't DoorDash. You shouldn't eat out. And I don't look, man, poor people shouldn't. They're already suffering. You eat out. I don't give a fuck. I
Treat
just
yourself.
It just seems a little predatory.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, are you making niggas pay interest on a fucking sushi order?
Yep.
Like, it's crazy. But then again, I guess you do that on your credit card. If you go out and you swipe that, you're still gonna pay the interest on that. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I just feel like, damn, are we that broke where we have to, like, a $20 order, you got to break that down? Like, that to me is just like insane, like all around that.
But we are that broke. Don't get it twisted.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's insane that we're at that point where they're like, hey, these niggas can't even afford DoorDash. We got to give them multiple payments. The fees on top of the fees, it's insane. Because we all remember when DoorDash wasn't that many goddamn fees. It's a fee for the restaurant. It's a fee for us to open the goddamn app. It's just to the point, like you said. Now, I used to order DoorDash and would be like, yeah, I'm just going to pick it up myself. But then I'm like, you're still charging me to use this goddamn app. I might as well just call the restaurant directly and be like, stop being lazy, bro. Just take it back to like 5-10 years ago when you was going to pick up your shit anyways.
Yeah.
So
I do understand we are paying for convenience, but it kind of don't feel convenient anymore. So I just like what you said, I do want to allow, or just be okay. I do want to say I am okay with this option for folks that don't have it right now, because there are times I ain't got it right now, but that don't mean I need it right now. So, sometimes you just gotta hold off and go ahead and get them canned beans and figure out what you can make from that.
But you know what though? I think about it from another perspective, because you can order groceries on DoorDash now.
Yeah, you can.
So that's where I think that benefit comes in at. So hopefully, if it's like, yo, it's not payday until Friday, let me use this Klarna real quick and get a grocery for the house.
Fair.
I hope niggas will be doing, but I know niggas gonna be getting burgers and all types of shit on there.
Hey man, it happens.
Do what you do.
It be-
Let's do the nothing blunt fact, and then we can get the F up out of here. I'm saying like, damn Nate, God, possibly, damn Nate, that was a gut punch. So here we go. Duke lost. Duke lost. Duke lost.
Whoa.
That is the nothing blunt fact for the day, the
This
week,
guy
the
here.
whole tournament. Duke
All right.
lost.
All right. Okay.
What you got
So
for
what we
the
doing
people?
here? Hey man, I know one
Go have your
thing.
friend watch this one.
I might have
You know
to.
who's not getting invited to any
God. This guy here. This guy is ridiculous. As always, don't forget to smash that bell so you can get notified as soon as our content drops. And to tell a friend that this is your favorite podcast and you should be listening to it as well.
What is that about? She literally simple. That's what all your podcast platforms. You know what it is, day ones. We appreciate John Nate Galloway.
And I'm Adrian Brandyberg.
And this has been your favorite late night podcast that we sometimes shoot during the day. Even peace out, y'all.
Bye.